I once auditioned for a Broadway show. I absolutely nailed the scene, if I do say so myself. I got really fantastic feedback on it, and then I didn't get it. Why? Is it because I'm horrible and everyone hates me and because I'm not a good actor? No, it was actually because I was too tall. Rejection absolutely sucks, but sometimes it's not about you. Let's talk about rejection and overcoming it as an aspiring actor. Rejection can feel very personal, but honestly, in this industry, most of the time, it's not. That Broadway show I auditioned for that I mentioned, I'm not gonna name what it is, but you know what you did. I'm kidding, I'm kidding. I fit the description of the character, I had a similar background to the character, I was actually involved with other productions where I played a very similar character, and I got great feedback on my role and my performance. But what ended up happening is that for the stage, they wanted someone who looked younger. They wanted someone who was about 5'7", because then on stage, you come across more childlike. That's it. It was my height. But here's the thing. I think a lot of people can also view that and be like, see, it's not about you. You're great. But that can also be something that's disturbing. I remember I would get in my head a lot about, well, why can't we just be a little bit flexible? But that's really coming at it from a personal place when we have a lot of other people involved, like a director and a casting director who are looking at the production of a whole. You don't want to be the audience member who sat down to go see a show and said, why is that guy who's playing the 16-year-old look 40? In the long run, actually not getting those things will help you. So think about it more like that. So often, it's not your performance. It's other elements you can't control. And that doesn't make you any less talented. Auditions are seeds, not the whole plant. A lot of the times it can feel like when you're not booking a role that you were rejected, you know? But the reality is you getting an audition is actually the celebration in itself. If you look at the numbers of thousands of people submitting for a role, and you, out of thousands of people, when it was narrowed down, were chosen to audition for this role, that's a great statistic. That can completely reframe the experience. Because here's the reality. It's a business. You usually don't hire the person that you just met. You hire the person you networked with for a while, right? For example, when I booked my first Netflix job, I actually auditioned for that casting director 5 times prior. Every time they brought me in, I kept thinking, what did I do wrong? Oh my God, I didn't book it again. I didn't book it again. I didn't book it again. But it turns out I wasn't doing something wrong. I was doing something right. Remember my last story about how I was just a little short? I'm sure every single one of those roles that I was auditioning for, it was just something different. Not that they didn't see me as a good actor. If they thought I wasn't a good actor, they wouldn't waste their precious time bringing me in over and over again. So remember, auditions are the seed, and therefore they are a celebration just in themselves. Even if you don't book, they're remembering you for the right reasons. Don't compare chapters of your career. It's just going to make you feel like you're being rejected even more. I know a decent amount of people who are pretty successful in this industry from all different walks of life. I know multiple people that you definitely know and heard of. Big names. And I knew them before they became big. Comparison is very, very real. But comparison is the thief of joy and also probably contributing to making you feel like you're just getting rejected more. This is what I want you to think of instead. This industry is not linear. Just like I've had friends who've climbed to the top very, very quickly, I've also had friends who have plummeted. You can plan as much as you want. I'm going to do this in my career. They're going to do that. I'm going to get there because of this. And it will just not go according to plan. How many Disney stars do you know that their heydays were their teenage years versus how many actors do you know who got their heydays in their 40s when they started playing parents? This industry is all peaks and valleys. We're all having ups, we're all having downs. But if you are constantly looking at everyone else's ups, you most likely won't have enough energy to put into yourself so that you can eventually have your upside. And let me also be clear. Things are constantly changing. So your up just might not look like theirs. I mean, look at what I'm doing right now. I studied to be an actor. I thought my whole life was going to be audition, right? I didn't think that content creation and actually building a community online was going to be part of my journey. But because I was open to it, I am so happy it's happening. Your journey won't look like anyone else's. And that's exactly how it's supposed to be. Your identity cannot depend on booking. But listen, This is the part that not everyone says, and I'm going to say, I don't handle rejection well. It can suck. You were rejected. It doesn't feel good. It would feel much better if you booked it. I think it's a lie, or you're fooling yourself if you just say, I didn't care. I don't care. It's okay to care. It's okay to be a little bummed, but it's not okay to lose the overall picture and perspective. Disappointment is a different emotion than grief. We should not be grieving if we didn't book something. We should be disappointed, but we find the main North Star that we're going to follow. We pick ourselves up and we decide to be creative again. And I know that's like really general, so let me get a little bit more specific. I had a situation where I didn't book something and I was devastated. Like, I thought the world was going to end. And I held on to that devastation for about a year. It wasn't until a year passed and I was actually able to look back at my life during that time that I realized that not booking it was actually better for me overall. I actually ended up doing something else that helped me meet people that had brought me to a better position. So what's the moral of that story? The things that are meant for you will come to you. If it's not meant for you, it was never meant for you. Sometimes you gotta absorb the woo-woo and be like, everything happens for a reason. It really is the way to go. So the next time you're rejected or don't book something, give yourself time to be upset, to be disappointed that you didn't get it. But then trust in that bigger picture that that was okay and it's all meant to be. It'll all make sense eventually. My biggest belief in overcoming rejection as an actor is to actually take the moments when you're not being rejected to celebrate your power. We need to celebrate what we can control. A lot of our anxieties in these situations come from the fact that we have outside sources deciding our fate. As actors, we can feel so powerless. Oh my God, why can't someone give this to me? Please give this to me. Oh, I'm just gonna beg for it. Please. Is there something wrong with me? Why aren't you choosing me? But the shift happens when you realize that you don't need that booking. So I celebrate any day I take my own creative power back. And that doesn't have to be on a public platform like a booking. Maybe I woke up one day and I did a fun little warm-up game. Maybe I woke up one day and I went to acting class and had an amazing session that blew my mind. And maybe I made a video on the internet to help other people develop as actors. When we get so caught up in the business of booking and being so goal-oriented, we lose the fun, the artistry, the reason we all started this, which was to be creatives. It is something that can easily be forgotten and especially make you feel rejected if you value bookings more so than your own artistry. You don't need that booking to prove you're an artist. Reclaim your power, create something, and just connect to your craft. That is success. Now, if you guys do anything special when you are dealing with rejection in any capacity, not even acting world, just dealing with being upset and grief, please leave a comment down below. I love gathering information. You know, some of the things that I come up with are just from my experience. I would love to hear your experience, and I'm sure there's other people watching this video who would also value your experience. So please leave a comment down below. I'd love to help others deal with rejection, taking all these tools and put it in our toolbox. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please check out my other video. It's all about what I learned from Emily Blunt on set when I was on set with her. I think there's a lot for us to soak up from A-listers. I mean, they're pros for a reason. They're always on set, so we can really learn a lot from them. So I hope to give you all the behind the scenes of how she interacts and goes about her acting craft. She's not just an incredible actor, but it's important to see how she's an incredible leader even behind the scenes. So check that out. Anyway, you know what to do. Please like, please comment, please subscribe, please hit the bell, and I will see you next time. Mwah!